Alright, it's time for the final island. We've done so much shit, and honestly, what a banger note to end things on. Uh,
I think
honestly,
Coach Ever's actually really good on this island.
you
I
know,
know like a lot.
I do too,
Shut up!
honestly.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Shut up! You shut up! You shut up!
It's kind of coincidental, kind of fitting that we began this all the way back. The first monster we ever did was Clamble. And now it comes full circle because, guys, what
Clamble?
is your opinion on
Dragon?
Dragong?
Dragon G?
It's Dragon
It's
G.
fucking ass.
What?
I
No.
think it's really pretty.
Because that was the first line in the first episode.
Oh, dipsters are fucking. I mean, we'll get to that.
No. The first line was about Clamble being ass. Remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah, but Dragong's not ass.
Yeah, he isn't.
How do you even, talk about Dragong? He just does what he does.
He does what he does in, I think, only one verse, but he does it well.
He does what he does, and he doesn't make a fuzz.
Yeah. He's just boom and then suspended symbol.
Boom, boom,
Which,
boom, boom.
It does its job for what it is. It's not significant because it doesn't need to be significant.
I like how, despite the fact that his name is Dragong, I don't think he's actually a gong.
Yeah, he's just symbol.
That's a surprising theme in like a lot of videos where their name is an instrument, but it's not actually the instrument.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it too.
I like its sound a lot because it doesn't. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's when there's something that in no way, in any sense, is melodical, but due to other melodies or chords surrounding it, like you hear a melody in it. Like that's how I feel with Dragon. Like when it plays in the main verse, just like I hear like each of its crashes. Like I don't know, but I hear them as like the notes that are playing that verse. Like dooey dooey, just the chords. That's how he just crashes, and it's very like nice and fitting.
I mean, that's
Dragon didn't need to, but I'd say he's one of the better percussionists on this island.
that's one of the main benefits of bassy percussion is that it boosters the punch of prominent notes.
Yeah. I gotta say, his design is also sick, and I'm glad they didn't just go with generic dragon.
Yeah, they went with a kind of mesh of Asian dragons with a bit of a Western dragon flair on it.
Yeah, and he's all fleshy and snake.
Yeah, and he's also fleshy.
Silly.
I like his tail symbols; those look cool.
Honestly, Dragon G, the dragon. It's pretty sick. Not the best, not gonna win any awards, but hot damn is he full of personality.
It's a good one to start on.
It is a very good march to start on.
I was gonna say that. What's it called? I was going to say that for Dragon, he's one of the monsters where I don't think it'd be mentioned in a video, but I don't. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like a ranking of all 17 monsters on the island.
Oh,
because they all deserve it.
Yeah, pretty much for one reason or another.
Yeah, and Dragong is one reason, not the other.
Yeah, the other reason is the fact that Dragong is orange, and we need to talk about another orange monster.
There's literally no orange monster on this island.
What do you mean?
there is.
Rare Kazillion.
No, Bellowfish is orange.
No, he's green.
His orange arms. He has an orange accordion arms, and the arms are his instrument, so that's Bellowfish.
Are we talking about Bellowfish then?
Okay, let's talk about Bellowfish, because Bellowfish.
I love Bellowfish. I think Bellowfish is one of my favorite ones because I like the whole idea that it's a little baby fish. But then he got a little gem and said, oh, and it got water in it too. And he's like, and like, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's a crystal gem.
I mean, he gets his own solo.
Yeah, it's very weird that of all monsters to get their own solo is Bellowfish. But he deserves it.
I mean, it makes perfect sense though, because like his melody of all the monsters that are playing in that first, his melody is the one that's most different, so it works really, really well as a bridge.
Yeah.
It's like it's the case of it's like, oh, that's such a weird choice, but also when you think about it, it's like so perfectly well designed and like a no-brainer. It's like he was specifically made to do that, and it really shows, and it especially shows when it comes to quality. Like, it sounds so good in every way.
Yeah. And the best part is, even when he plays with like a ton of shit at the end of the song, it's not intrusive. He's perfectly melded into the song, despite being so drastically different.
Yeah, the song's outro is honestly like a thing of beauty. Like, it's the main melody, and then having Bellafish from the bridge and Geode from the intro, and having it all work. Like,
And having
what do you?
Jelbilly.
Oh wait, it has Jellybilly. Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Jelbilly plays at the end too.
Oh, well, he's the same thing as Geode, but
Yeah,
less
fair.
impressive because he's a sunfish.
I only think he plays during the second half of the ending, though.
Huh. I have to revisit that because that sounds inaccurate, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt as the Ethereal Island stand. But I
Okay.
will rub it in your face if I'm right.
I'm fine with that.
But yeah, Bellowfish is like, there's so many monsters that are contenders for favorite Ethereal Island monster. It's so hard to pick a favorite Ethereal, and Bellowfish is one of those that's always been just one of the choices. He's a very charming monster. His animations are sick. His sound is amazing. Like, where do you go wrong?
Yeah, honestly, that's true. You know what's another really charming monster, and unfortunately, that's kind of the only thing this monster has.
It's Gazillion.
Nah, I love Kazillion, dude. I was gonna say Voodoo.
Yeah, Voodoo.
Bro, Voodoo kind of got cocked.
I mean, how do you expect him to compete when Geode is on and that Geode Rebro's on the island?
Yeah,
Voodoo pops off in the soundtrack, at least.
yeah.
Because he plays a lot more frequently in the soundtrack.
I like Voodoo. It's another one of my favorites, like Bellfishes, you know, because he just is really aesthetically pleasing because like the
Yeah.
blues and all that.
Aesthetically,
This isn't
Voodoo
about
is like
designs, it's about sounds.
aesthetically and like
I mean,
personality-wise, Voodoo is like top 3.
yeah.
He is
Honestly,
monkey.
it's not even like that. It's not even instantly significant actually thinking about it, because like, you know, it's the easiest way to notice it, and it not only does it make him pop out more, but it makes another lesser monster pop out more, and it just makes like a greater appreciation. Is like it's a weird duet, but Araculele and Voodoo, because
Yeah.
they both have like the same like rhythm. Like, and when working together, they accentuate just to have like the like basic chords down along with gas.
I just really wish Voodoo had more time to shine because I love Voodoo a lot, and it's kind of sad that he's kind of inaudible. But that's not really Ethereal
Yeah.
Island's fault. That's a certain other thing's fault.
In general, he was always a little bit too quiet. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's a case of insignificance, and more so a case of like, you know, just a properly used role. Like, if I couldn't like, I don't think Ethereal Island would be the same without him. At the end of the day,
True.
it's he isn't useless. He just plays a minimal role because there's nothing wrong with doing a minimal role.
I mean, even beyond everything, Voodoo's just funny. He's the funny little, like, monkey man. He's literally a, like, primate.
Yeah, there is proof on the MSM Twitter that he is based on a primate.
I remember when that was like a whole thing, when it was like,
Yeah.
people would say Voodoo is like a primate, and then people were like, no, you can't say that, that's racist. And then MSM was like, what do you mean? He's monkey.
Yeah, I don't really care because at the end of the day, all I care is that he's Voodoo and his design is
Yeah.
super cool. It's so immaculate.
Yeah, it is very detailed and like everything comes together really well.
I like the blue glow when they smash together. Like,
Yeah. Who do we even like? How do we even segue from Voodoo?
By talking about
What?
Yeah.
Ryan?
by talking about Araculele because we brought him up earlier.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, that's easy. Ukulele is like pog as fucking shit.
What are you gonna start no ukulele?
I
So it's bottom 5.
Care. It's just a big ukulele. Just a very big one with an extra string.
That's not a ukulele.
Shh.
I think it's more than one extra string.
Shh.
Yeah.
Listen.
No.
I can imagine.
Listen, I had a ukulele that I broke. But when I had a ukulele, I learned how to play a ukulele, and it sounds basically the same. So, like, at the end of the day, I don't think it makes a difference. It gets the execution across the same. Though I do think it would be cool if it was an actual ukulele. But the point is, he is a very cool monster.
Yeah. Cause he'd be like strumming and like.
What
Yeah.
strumming?
He'd be
Bro. Honestly, the Ethereals, like, when it comes to making, like, their element combinations, make...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Like, the Naturals, you always have cases with, like, Ma or Furcorn, where people, like, have questions like, oh, I don't get it, what's this about it? And then, but, like, Oracula is, like, just a perfect example. It's just like, oh, Shadow, creepy, Spider, and Mech. It's a robo mech. Very cool design.
I love Oraculele's, like, I hesitate to even say sound font, because if you told me it was a real guitar, I would 100% believe you. But the sound design on Ethereal Island itself is, like, really fucking good. Everything on it sounds really good on its own.
Oraculele is one of those monsters where it's like, I know it's only playing chords, but at the same time, I feel like it can hear, like, Ghast or, like, some other monster's melody inside of those chords, you know?
Yeah. It lends itself so well to the others.
He really makes the chorus.
He's just
Yeah.
He's the backbone, dude. He, like, you can't have the song. You can't take any of the ethereal monsters out without the song feeling less charming. But you can't take Oraculele out without the song sounding dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know who else you can say that for?
A lot of monsters, but
Yeah, there's like 3 outliers still in that camp.
there's like 5. But you know what? We'll say the biggest one of all, where the song would literally be broken without it, Ghast.
Dude,
What?
Ghast would be the best monster of all time just from Ethereal Island alone.
It's like its main track is like the main track is it's like it's beautiful chords, and like it's not just it's not only that, but just the like after effect of like the decaying sound, just and like the background sense just adds so much, like because it's and then there's like da 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 da. It's very alive, and then afterwards it has like the most beautiful like melody ever with the dun 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 dun.
But it just completes the whole aesthetic Ethereal Island has.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, I don't even...
Ghast is a perfect monster in every way.
Yeah.
I agree, because you look like a kitty cat yo-yo.
I don't even think there's any, like, argument that could be made against Gas. I can't, like, usually when there's good monsters, I'll at least hear things on the other side, just because people like to be contrarians. But I've never heard anyone say anything negative about Gas on Ethereal.
You're throwing if you do, literally, like...
If you don't like Ghast on Ethereal, you don't like Ethereal Island.
And if you don't like Ethereal Island, what the fuck, what do you like? Like, come on.
They like Nebula.
Dude, I'm fine with that. I like Nebulob. I think Nebulob is like one of Nebulob is like top 5 favorite vocals in MSM.
He's so
It's such
He's a bit silly.
it's such like an
like
out there track. Oh, I'm sorry. What?
what?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said I like his filter because it really like it's like it combines just like the astronaut aesthetic with like the mystical aesthetic of Ethereal Island, and I don't know how you do that, but that's so cleanly done.
Yeah, it fits his design perfectly too.
Honestly, it just feels like there's so many like amazing vocals on this island that some vocals kind of just get tossed to the wayside for the more like memorable and iconic ones. And it feels like Nebulob is right on the fringe of that. Like, people talk about it, but they don't talk about it, you know?
Yeah,
Because they played like twice,
Yeah, and
and you're
pissed
also
off.
and Sox is also playing that.
Yeah, that's fair.
it's definitely an amazing track either way.
I like the pauses too. Like, it's not a full like, it's not always singing it. It's got the
Rhythmically.
just with the da 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 ba da 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 da.
It's just It's just a masterfully composed melody, honestly, just in every way. Like, I don't. It's just such a perfect. All of you're gonna hear this for almost every single ethereal, but they're all perfect monsters.
Yeah,
Which kind of fits Ethereal Island, considering the Ethereals are like the uppest of uppest class monsters at the time, and Ethereals just being the godlike class having all these godlike monsters. Like, bro, where do you go
Like,
wrong?
listen, all I'm saying is, like, if you took every island at its best state, like, ethereal brings everyone else to their knees.
yeah.
Except for Grumpire, because he doesn't have knees.
Shit, you're right, and that's why Grumpire's one of the weaker monsters on this island.
True.
Sort of-
Let's talk about that.
I'm biased.
So,
What?
I don't like Grumpire because the two other things that play there are literally my 2 favorite like tracks in MSM.
Grumpire's on like a Dencha's kind of thing for me, because like they have their purpose, but also I'd much rather pay attention to other things.
Yeah,
But I just mute them.
like there's no harm in them being there, but it's not like I'm gonna focus on it because it's there.
It's sort of make
yeah.
Grumpire.
Wait, what?
I think what they did with Grumpire is the best move they could have done, because Grumpire is just like, how do you make this work in this kind of song kind of thing? They really had to try hard.
I think it does sound great though. And again, at the end of the day, like, I guess pretty much none of us were there for it, but like it was a release thing, and at the time he was of like when Ethereal Island came out, there were only 6 monsters, including him. So he kind of had to fill that role at the time.
Yeah.
And I do think at the end of the day, like, it gets a little bit close to crowded with all the melodies there. But I never considered him really a main one. I think with Ethereal Island, it's genuinely a case of where, like, you can just pick and choose what you want to be the main melody of the verses.
Yeah. One thing I will give Grumpire is that his track is insanely fun to sing.
Yeah. It's a really fun track in general. It's a really great monster, and, like, especially, like, the updated animations they did a few years ago where they, like, made him, like, his
Expressive.
face emote. It's a really expressive monster. It's a very, like, it feels like a monster. It feels like a character. It feels like a person. It's
And
cool.
that's like a lot of the Ethereals. The Ethereals are so emotive and they have so much personality in them. Like, Kazillion.
Kazillion is like top 3 ethereals for me.
Saying silly.
Alright. But what about Kazillion and Composer?
Dude, number one best. I can't even say it's the worst because
I love Kazillion for a very specific reason. I think it was Abed that like shone this light down on me, but nobody on the fucking planet can recreate a convincing Kazillion.
I feel like Kazillion's a vocoder.
It has to be. But even with a vocoder, like, you should be able to at least get a ballpark of a vocoder.
True.
But nobody can get even close.
It's so unique, and it's so, like, it's such an out there, because, like, you look at Kazillion's design, and you're like, there's no fucking way it's a vocal, and then it's a vocal, and you spit out your cereal.
No, see, here's the thing. The best part about it is that, like, it doesn't, even if it's a vocoder, it does not in any way feel fake. And you know what they really do well to accentuate that?
What?
It's just
What?
the way it plays, and like, so when you listen closely, it's not just do wop, do wop, but like, if you listen closely, you can just hear like the release of the piece, like do wop, do wop, and like they, instead of just like editing it out or like just leaving it as like a background detail, it works with the animation, and that's when the gas comes out of his mouth. It's like, oh, that's so cool.
You know what I think
Yeah.
it might be? Maybe
What?
instead, because everyone's like, oh, it's probably like deepened and stuff. Maybe what they did is they sung it even, like, they have someone sing it at a really, really low level, and then they raise the pitch.
Maybe.
Because it's too gravelly to be higher to lower, but I don't know. It's very raspy, and it's hard to get a raspy tone when you sing at a higher pitch.
I think at the end of the day, the answer is none of us are like, see, being a doo-wop singer, singing those low notes takes a little bit more skill than just your average Joe in the community.
Yeah, fair.
But even that, I don't think anyone can recreate it. They've definitely personalized it.
Certified MSM monster moment.
Yeah. And then even then, like, that's just been talking about like how he sounds. Like, we haven't even discussed in the song itself.
He compliments Nebulob so fucking well.
He's
Yeah.
just a monster. Like, you're not supposed to be like, bro, Kazillion's playing kind of pay attention to Kazillion. No, it's just Kazillion boosts literally everything somehow.
He's got the perfect octave and rhythm and, like, melody to do so.
He's just the bass in that verse, basically.
Yeah. He's the root. I was gonna say he's the backbone, but we've said that about like 5 different monsters.
Yeah. Speaking of backbone, Rebro.
Ooh.
He doesn't even have bones.
Ooh, he doesn't need them. He'll make them.
Bro, Rebro scares me because, like, its track is so fucking complicated for a 3/4 percussion line, yet it works so well. How do you even make something like that?
I remember.
Rebro on Ethereal Island kind of be like the best percussive, like, monster on an island in all of Msm history. Like, how do you compare? Like, yes, Shelby, like the single trap track from Shelby on Cave is like the best percussion in all of MSM, but like Rebro, like just the full experience of Rebro on Ethereal, it's like, how do you do that? It's easily like the most impressive, and I'd say the best.
We said on the Air Island podcast, we're like, all right, Rebro, his time isn't shining yet, but when it shines, and this
Yeah.
completely puts that bar up,
He's got a lot of stuff, just basic stuff going, quote unquote, just going on throughout the entire song. Just like, he's got his opening track, which is just like a lot more steamy, just to just because the opening, before going into a meteor track for the core, for like the first verse, and then I think he like keeps going with the meteor track, or like evolves the meteor track for the chorus verse, and it's very well done. But then I think like the coolest thing that he does is just the cymbal steam solo, just really accentuate the quiet of the
The
bellofish verse,
Bellowfish,
right
yeah.
into just and then it just builds all back up into the big burst that is the chorus hitting back again.
The only missed opportunity there is that even if they didn't want that final verse to be crowded, Dragon should have had one single hit to lead into that verse, like it does in the soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack Ethereal Island is just perfect.
Yeah. But fucking Rebro, dude. Like, what? How?
How are we going to choose between Rebro and Gast as number one?
We don't. We put both of them at number one.
We honestly could, and it's it's like it's like trying to say, hey guys, what's more important to a song, bass or drums? Like, how do you answer that?
I mean, yeah. Speaking of drums. Oh,
We did everything.
yeah. Speaking
No,
of
not
bass.
We did
Poor
everything.
drummer.
the castle bass. Okay, I'd say we could talk about the castle on the sound. The castle's honestly pretty good.
I never pay attention to the castle, but the Ethereal Island's the only one that I kind of can because it plays at the beginning with like Jelly, and I get to hear it, and I'm like, bro, this piece is popping off.
Yeah, it's a really cool synth, and just the
Castle bass pops off rhythmically.
yeah.
Like even in the low verse with the Nebula, the whole do 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 boo do 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 do. Like it's so sick.
It's definitely one of the more into castle bass sounds. It's not just holding a note the entire time.
Yeah, really. That's really a testament to show how good Ethereal Island really is. It's so good that the fucking castle bass is good.
Like honestly, if we put the castle base in the ranking, like if we make it like just the ranking all the ethereals, like I don't know. I don't even know if the castle, if we could even put the castle base in bottom three. Like if we needed to
No.
stretch it,
It probably reached like halfway.
it's like that's like the craziest part about this island. It's just like there's so much goodness here. Like it's yeah, we got so many monsters left too. Like let's just finish up the what's it called? The first verse with socks.
Socks?
The
Bruh.
first,
Like yeah, I mean, because there's the intro, first verse, chorus,
Oh, okay.
bridge,
Uh,
outro.
first verse agility. Okay,
all I
socks.
remember about socks, I'm like, I love socks. I'm not trying to discredit socks by saying all I remember about blank. But I do know that the main thing with socks is just the fact that it is really fucking weird rhythmically.
It does some like fucking like doublet like complete like improv shit. I'm like, what? What? No, that's going against the entire thing. But also, that's the best thing
It's
I've ever heard in
fucking
my life.
3/4 song too.
Boop. Do 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 do. Yeah,
And
even
it
then.
somehow works. Okay, it's okay. It's that playing on top of the super like, weird, rhythmic, interesting stuff going on with and underneath all of that, you have gas going a constant 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and it somehow all works. And I think Rebro's also playing in that verse.
Yeah, Rebo plays the whole song. Except,
Yeah,
well, no, yeah, he plays the whole song.
yeah. So you have Rebro in that verse doing a consistent percussion line. It's like if it, it's the kind of thing where on paper it's like that doesn't work. You can't combine those kinds of rhythms together. Like it's like you're asking for Pluckville to happen, but then afterwards it's so fucked up that it just loops back around and works.
Plus, Gotta give credit where credit's due. Rare socks.
Yeah, the Baggy
Yeah.
and those singing monsters.
Stop talking.
Nah, but okay, here's the thing though. For our socks is like we talk about like the rhythm thing, whatever. Or, like even like just the melody itself is so like beautiful for a saxophone on this kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe like the kind of weird vibe that like what's called that Ethereal Island is. Like I don't know how I describe the genre is. But
It's
socks
very
definitely,
jazzy.
yeah, I guess I can see that.
There's so much like syncopation, like swingy tunes. Not swing tunes, mind you. They're just like they swing together. But
Yeah,
it's not jazz per se. It's more like a funk jazz, or like maybe like a techno jazz. But it is very jazzy.
yeah. Like at the end of the day, it's just the kind. It's like it's a very like futuristic in sound, I'd say too.
Yeah,
And it's the entire vibe with it just feels very like far future outer spacey,
far
which is not a
future
place you'd
peasy.
expect to see a saxophone.
Yeah, but they make it work so well. There's like a lot of odd things on this island that should not work and actually do work. Like, uh, for example, freaking cowboy scatting
For
Bing,
the
bop,
intro.
for the freaking intro of the song. A bop a doom bop a ding bop day day.
Oh yeah, and they did. This is the first time they did anything like this. Like actually, wait, no, this is the second time. But like, besides hula, it's the first cousin. It's just like a tangentially related monster, just expanding the verse with just like having it's what's it called? Cybops. Look
Cybops.
up this then.
Yeah, Cybops based their appearance off of it, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Nice. Dude, my
Yeah.
favorite part about Jellybilly is how hard he hits the consonants. Like, in the freaking inflection, you can hear it pop on those P's and, like, bop on those B's. It's just a bop doom bop deem bop day day.
Yeah, it's a very alive sound, and something that I also it's the same thing that happens with what's it called? It's something that happens with Dragong, but with this, because of just it playing with Geode, it only has the beam bop a doom dop a deem dop day day beam bop a doom bop a dee da dow. That's a single track, and that is loops over and over again whenever it plays again. But it feels like it just shifts down to beam beam bop doom bop doom. It's like as hard as I can't sing, but like
Yeah, it's the power
it
of
feels like it
chords.
shifts down with the chords, even though it doesn't. It's like I still think that's one of the coolest effects that music can have, and he does it so well.
I don't even have really anything else to say about Jellybilly because it's a very simple monster in what it does.
Yeah, but I think the
Wait,
best
hold
part.
on.
But yeah,
Is Jellybilly pitched or not?
He is.
Alright. Because I was thinking about Jellybilly and Composer, and I was like, that's pitch, but I don't
and
hear a lot of pitch in, like, ethereals.
it's it's one of those like weird in betweens.
You can definitely hear it pop out when he does the whole day day, because that's definitely pitch. But then the rest is, it's kind of like it flows between it very smoothly. It's a very
Yeah,
odd vocal.
it rides on the lines of pitch and non-pitch, but then afterwards, it's like okay, that's a pretty that's like definitely standard intro with the the scatting cowboy sound. But what would go well with that and then steampunk esque percussion and steamy hi hats? I know a fucking like glass harmonica.
Geode.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh, just Geode.
The
Geode
chords are
sound.
beautiful.
Geode sound is one that's like it's unconventional for what I think Geode would do, but I also vibe with it because it's just like background accompaniment shit.
Yeah.
But it's also something you can acknowledge.
I think it's so beautiful, and it is so perfect for the intro. It just sets the tone really, really well. Just super serene. Like it's the kind of thing where where you feel like you can just like lay back, take a deep breath, and just look into the sky listening to it.
Yeah. Just really sets the tone for just the island is going to be beautiful. I'm so glad it plays in the intro. What else does it play?
It
At
plays.
the
It
end.
plays in the direct outro, and
And
it's
it
so
plays in the
cool that it has that.
Bellowfish.
Oh
Right.
yeah, you're right.
Dude, it really
But yeah,
pops in at the most tranquil moments. It comes at the beginning setting you up for Serenity, and then the bridge with the Bellowfish with Geode coming back in. Oh, how do
So
you...
beautiful.
Yeah. And then the way and then afterwards it playing in the intro is, I mean, outro is again like such a perfect, like, see, things like this is what I mean. Like I should say it before, like being able to put a monster anywhere in the song and it working is such a powerful tool.
Not every monster can do it, but when a monster does do it, and BBB capitalizes on that idea, it's magical. Which
It
is...
is just like it's fitting motif in like just a short span of 2 minutes where all your sounds are like 30 seconds at max.
Yeah.
It's a feat of it's a musical feat. I definitely say that.
Alright. So, we only have 5 left, and we have the 2, like, really important ones to this chat, and then we have the 2 really bad ones. So I say we get the one kind of mid-tier one out of the way.
Hello, Humbug.
Humbug.
I am a humbug lover.
I love Humbug on this island. I love Humbug. Doesn't mean he's great. He only plays once. Kind of hard to hear him. If you get like 5 Humbugs, it's one of the most, like, emotional, powerful moments of the entire fucking song.
It soundtrack saves humbug so well.
Yeah.
I wish we could have gotten that. It's just it's like at the end of the day we're gonna have to dock points because it's humbug. Like we can't just not do that because like it's just what they do with it is like in game. It's just it's not as good as it could be shown based on what the soundtrack is shown, and we don't have the soundtrack isn't what we're reviewing. We're reviewing the in-game song, but like it is a super. It's like once again really weird choice with this like buzz electric guitar, but it's like the way like the notes like flow like wow wow like buzz is like very like again beautiful. It's a great outro to the verses. It's just like a slowdown to it all, and especially like the end of it where it just like has like the buzzing just like go on just like it's one of my favorite, like it's the case of genuinely this is like one of my contenders for like top 3 on the island. It's like so hard to pick my favorite for me. It's like, oh, Kazillion, oh, Bellafish, oh, Ghast, oh, Humbug, how do I choose? And then Geo sitting in the corner, I'm like, maybe. I don't know. Humbug is okay, but he's also amazing, but also not as good as he is.
Not as good as he could be.
What
And
are the
that's
rest
the most disappointing part of all, is that Humbug has so much potential if he just played a little bit more.
Dude, all these monsters have so much potential.
True.
I'm glad they don't get the chance to be ruined. But I'd fucking die for another Humbug track or another Gas track.
Ah, Humbug. I want Humbug to be the star it deserves to be. A freaking effect pedal electric guitar. Give it to me someday, BBB. Just give
Such
it
a
to me.
cool idea too, like just like buzzing wings to be like a buzz guitar.
Alright, so we have 2 ways we could take this. Do we want to end on a high note, or do we want to end on a low note?
Well, how did the island end?
Fair enough.
Ow.
In that case, we should probably talk about the last 2 ethereals. I don't know which one I want to talk about more though.
I want to talk about the bottom one more, so I'm going to talk about the top one first.
All right. So
With
it's hard to talk about my favorite monster in the entire franchise without just over bloating it. So I'm going to let you talk first to get a more rational critique on the monster's performance.
I mean, honestly, not sure why we saved this for last when like gas could have been here too. But also, it is a very good monster. It is, I'd say, like, it's like tied for main melody in the main verses, so it is a very important role. Again, masterful use of elements, masterful use of design, masterful use of sound. Its bio ties everything together. That reminds me, Beloved is a Breaking Bad reference, and I know that's relevant in the community, so just a reminder that it's its entire joke is that I'm gonna provide context real quick for that one. So basically, when Bellafish came out, the way the monsters works is they had the first three singles come out, and at the time Geode and Humbug weren't in the game at all. Then afterwards, what happened is that so they had those three. They came out one at a time. Then Ethereal came out with those three and the first three triples, which is Whisper, Oracularly, and Nebula. Then they added Geode and Voodoo together in an update, and then added the other triples one at a time. I mean doubles, and eventually we had all of them except for Crystal and Mech. So what they did is they released Humbug, what's it called, and Kazillion together first, and then they released Bellowfish because his entire bio is about how he's always late to the parties, and then afterwards the bio ends with like a Breaking Bad line, and then afterwards the entire joke is because his elements are crystal meth, like crystal meth.
I never
Anyways,
caught
Wisp
that
is a
before.
very yeah, it is a very really like deep, clever joke, and I think it's so hilarious that they like imagine taking a joke to the level where you release a monster like 2 monsters late just because he's late to all the parties. Anyways, Wisp is a very yeah. Bellfish is Breaking Bad, and Wisp is awesome too. Very good use of elements. I mentioned that just because we haven't talked about the bios, and it's in the bio, but like, Wisp is a very cool monster. Its sound is very good.
There's literally only one thing I don't like about Wisp, and that's the fact that if you listen to it individually, its sound, like the recording of its voice, is too high quality to the point where you can hear like the moistening of its lips and like the fucking tiny pips of audio that play when your like saliva clips together.
That's a thing that just happens in general, because I know, like, Pom Pom on Air Island, it, like, no, Waddle on Cloud Island, like, breathes before playing, and, like, a bunch of shit like that. And then there's, like, Wordos, where it's like, oh, you can hear in-game audio leaking through their sounds and shit.
And Hula on Air Island has Pom Pom in the background.
Yeah. But
that's besides the point.
I could gush about Wisp forever, dude. I love everything about its aesthetic and design. And I love the voice. The voice is... Wisp and the next monster. The reason I saved these two for last is because Wisp and the last Ethereal are, like, genuinely my favorite duet in the entire franchise.
There's Animal.
What?
Understandable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And who is that other monster?
Flowbox.
We will get to that when we get to that. Let me enjoy my life right now. I want to...
Long burst, Dipster.
Shut up, Ryan. We're talking about Fungray. Oh.
I like it when Fungray is like playing. It's cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's a bit cool, I guess. If I was making this based purely on personal preference, Fungray would easily be the #1 monster on this island.
It's hard to not make it the #1. It is the melody of the
Yeah.
island.
It is the most beautiful, serene, powerful
Fiddle.
fiddle, whatever, violin. It holds the notes for the perfect amount of time. It complements everything down to the fucking grumpire perfectly. It fills in the air. It is so just I pray to someday make something even a tenth as good as this track.
You fung pray that you make something a tenth.
Yes.
Its animation is really cool. The concept is a really, really good concept of just praying mantis and then fungus and just the mantis claws being used like that. Its sound is so it's amazing just in 30 seconds. I think it's like 8 to 10, maybe 12 seconds, and I'll just all the just the mini emotional roller coaster just of the super serene intro, just the long doo 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 doo, and it's like slowly speeding up doo 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 doo, and then you just get the mini climax of the doo 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 doo. It's just a mini intense part doo doo doo, and there's the big accentuation of that single note into just the outro doo 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 doo, and just tying everything together, and that's just 12 seconds of an entire 2-minute song, and it's the main melody, and it's just it's so amazing.
The freaking the Msm Medley really accentuates how amazing this is, because in the Msm Medley a lot of the background stuff is trimmed, and the only main things are the Wisp track that's played on violins and violas, and then Fung Pray, and it's the most beautiful part of the entire medley.
It really this people to really just I think it's very hard to forget that Ethereal Island is such a serene song. It's I mean not hard, I think it's hard, it's easy to forget that. It's if you don't listen to it for a while, which I don't blame you after this kind of version of the game right now, it's easy to forget that and just be lost in the noise. But just that, it really just shows God, this is easily the most beautiful serene, this is what Gold Island wanted to be.
Yeah.
Gold Island walked so Ethereal Island could run.
Yes. God, imagine if MSM went with the Ethereals on Gold Island route instead. Then we lucked out.
I mean, did we? Instead of getting Ethereals on Gold, we got things coming to Ethereal.
Yeah, but those
I
things
would
are gold
rather
as
have
well.
a perfect. Okay, here's the thing. What would you rather have? The Gold Island is just as shitty as before, except all the except there's first of all the 2 element ethereals don't exist, and every single ethereal has one subpar track.
Oh, I thought
Or
you both could live at the same time.
no, it's because what's it called? When the gas came out, there was a glitch where it had gas in the Gold Island box, so you couldn't wake up your Gold Island box because gas would get to level 10 and be like, "Sorry, this monster is no longer hungry and will not eat anymore."
Oh, okay. Never mind. I definitely prefer Ethereal. Speaking of
Yeah.
Wobox, though.
Okay. Okay. So just to get this out of the way, the whole discussion on whether Wobox is good or not, that is for the MSM soundtrack and the MSM soundtrack alone, and that is it's up to personal preference. I am the one who believes that it is amazing in the official soundtrack version of it. However, this is not that. This is very much not that. Wobox in this song, I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't understand at all what they were going for. It's awful. It plays a single time in the song, and that's a big investment. Getting ethereals are hard. getting like it's 42 hours like in the breeder, then 42 in the hatchery. That's for every single one, and then you get all of those, and you get 10 of those, and then you get another 5 of like each of the singles, and all that is put that all in a box and box it, and then open it up. It plays in a single verse where it sounds bad. It doesn't fit in the verse at all. It's just right it's in the first main verse of the song. It's like not verse, the first like verse of the song after the Jelly Belly verse. It's like just there for no reason. It just is there. It's just loud and obnoxious, and like I don't get it.
You know, it's something I've been tangibly noticing as we've been going through this.
What?
Ethereal Island has a time signature change. The intro's in 6/8, but the main chorus is 3/4.
I
So that's why Wellbox completely bombs in anything that's not the chorus.
That makes sense. You can really hear it through gas, because in the beginning it does the whole. Well, I guess he doesn't play in the beginning. I think.
Well, he still plays in the verse that is 6/8.
Yeah, he plays in the ending, which is also the beginning, because the beginning is the ending with less stuff, and there he plays the faster da 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 da, and that's the like 6 in a bar. And then during the other verses, when it's 3/4, he does the slower one. Just like Bogart on Cave Island, it's really easy to tell when things are changing.
Yeah.
I took a long walk for a glass of water, but we got there.
Fun fact, Wellbox, we all know Wellbox is all loops, right? And so, fun fact, Wellbox has a loop that's the same as Wublin Island, except one of those works and one of those not.
Yeah, you can tell from just the like yeah. The difference is one of them was like designed to be on the island from the core, and the other one was stapled onto the island like 3 years later after it came out.
I love how dubstep in general is kind of dead, and people are just getting rid of Wellbox now because they realized how stupid it is.
At the end of the day, I said it before and I'll say it again. Wellbox is like not a terrible monster, but it doesn't work because dubstep isn't a sound font. It's not an instrument. It's a genre. And if you want it, genre bending is awesome and great, and you can do it great.
You just have
But
to
you
plan
don't
it.
do it after you can't just compose a song and then genre bend after it's done, like just by adding it in without editing anything at all.
Especially when you add it to one of the most like calming verses in the song. Like, it's added into the freaking nebula gas socks. But hey, at least it's not the worst monster on the island.
Monsters.
At least it's not one of the worst monsters on the island, because there's 7 monsters that are worse.
Dipster.
People defend these for some reason.
You know, honestly, Ryan, because this is the last island with the dipsters, and this is the last time we'll ever get to say it, I'll give you the honors of introducing dipsters one final time.
All right. So, from a philosophical standpoint, you know, I think with my intense neurological breakdown of the dipsters, I can confirm that dipsters are ass.
Dude, I hate.
You know what I was doing right there? You know what I was doing? Like taking the time while you were introducing the dipsters. I was like just in my I just escaped away to a happy little land in my head, singing the Tough Puppy theme song. And it's not really that good of a song, but like it's good escapism from the dipsters. And then afterwards, I get brought back and like, God, Tough Puppy, I'll miss you. Can we talk about that instead?
No, we have a duty to do. So,
Yeah, they left a duty.
So, I think you could probably tell by now that all of us really, really like that verse. We really, really, really like Fung Bray. We all like Rebro. We all love Gas. We all love Wisp. We all love everything in that verse. Fucking Dragong even. Humbug even. Voodoo. So when we can't focus on anything because 7 fucking moles are playing, it is the most painful thing in MSM. People consider these dipsters fine. They sound good on their own. But the fact that they ruin one of the best verses in MSM history.
They don't even sound that good on their own. They're just fucking scale.
It's like there's nothing interesting about them. It's just do 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 do. It's just like very repetitive, very simple. Anyone could do it, and then like I guess do 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 do, like not really interesting. Like it has some rhythmic interest, I guess. Like, and I mean, I guess if you want, you could find something interesting about like the chords, but not really, because they don't mesh with the chords playing in the song at that exact time. But then afterwards, you just take that, and then after, it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to see the appeal. I guess like compared to others, it's like I guess like others also sound just as bad. If like others do sound bad on their own too. A lot of the other dipsters, but I think the biggest thing with these that people need to realize is one, Ethereal Island is easily by a long slide the most like masterfully composed island ever. Like it's like everything came together perfectly. Like they came with fun. They made sure every monster played its part. They made sure every monster did its thing.
I don't even think
Everything comes
Bone
together
Island.
perfect.
I don't even think Bone Island is as well composed as Ethereal.
Bonon has
Yeah,
never
no.
been the same thing. Ethereal
not
Island
even.
up there.
Ethereal Island, like everything comes to. Like, Ethereal Island is a lot more complex. That's the thing. It has a lot of intricacies that work perfectly together because they were composed that way. Like we said, the fucking socks alone, like it's less. At the end of the day, here's the thing: like Fire Haven dipsters, they're shit. Everyone knows they're garbage. But like take a look at dipsters on Fire Haven, and then like look at the gap in quality between them and the island itself, and it's just like, not surprised. But like the gap in quality between the ethereals and the dipsters, it's like it's like jumping over 3 Grand Canyons vertically.
Oh God!
Like it's not even comparable. It's like asking someone would they rather eat a handful of rocks or get gourmet lobster. And like, sure, you know what? Well, that's not. It's like, let's say they could have like, I don't know. Like, I guess on their own, they're not as bad as some of the others, but just like when you shit on a song that's so well made, and then also you just compare like that's what's the worst on Ethereal? Like maybe like Voodoo, maybe Dragong, maybe Humbug. Well, not counting the other two, but like say take those, and then like compare Humbug to the Dipsters. There's like, how do you even? One of them is a good monster, and the other one is the Dipsters.
Yeah,
I
like
think the worst part is they literally had no reason to be on this island at all. They were not Ethereal. They
Yeah,
were not
like
trapped
they
in
had went
motion.
like 2 years without adding them, and it was a good sign. They didn't have to. Like Dipsters could have been dead, but they just brought the Dips train back, and congratulations, you ruined another good thing.
you ruined one of the best things. Wobox was on this island for years. We had time to like acclimate to Wobox. He only damaged a single verse, and there are other verses that sound exactly like that verse. So even if they ruin it, at least we'll get to hear it better again later in the song. The Dipsters ruined the best verse in the song both times it plays. I'm I hate them. I hate them so much. Am livid at the thought of these things existing.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no like excuse. Here's how I'm gonna put it. If Wabox, okay, if it was only the first 15, this island would be the toppest of the highest tier. It would like we'd make a new tier above everything, just number one best island of all time. If Wabox was on this island, we'd still put it there. Like if it's at the end of the day, taking the comparing like it to other stuff, what with that one loss, it's there. Now I don't even know if I can justify it going to A tier. It's unlistenable to me. Like I listen to it, and the dips just are so aggravating. It's like the song opens, it's fine. The Wabox kicks in, it's a big middle finger, like just like shoved down your ear, poking your brain, and then afterwards the dipsters come in, and they're just all. It's like they're all saying "fuck you" over and over again, and it's like, how can you stop existing? You're so loud for some reason. They're so much louder than every other monster. They're very annoying. And then afterwards, you get like one good verse, and then they come back again, and then another good verse, and then they're there for the outro too. And it's just like, how am I meant to enjoy this? Like, it's like if you, it's like if I don't even know how to just like. I'm trying to think of some kind of like stupid, funny, like jokey thing, like ridiculous scenario to relate. But I can't even think of anything that like is like the best I could think of is like it's like trying to enjoy porn on Pornhub of your mom. Like what the fuck do you do? You just sit there and like this is uncomfortable. I don't want to be here. I don't want to see this. This is terrible.
You know, you got a point though.
Most of this section or whatever, because and you.
Nah, listen, that's a perfect example.
But
listen, what's the difference? Both make me want to vomit.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else.
Hold up, you were sus with that one.
Yeah, are you?
Maybe when you're older.
So, because I think we've gotten our point across what the island is like when you add the dipsters. But now that we've talked about everything, I think we should talk about the full song. And I don't want to talk about the full song with the dipsters. So let's just pretend in a magical world for a little bit that Wubbox and dipsters don't exist. And now let's talk about Ethereal as a full song.
Masterpiece. Literally, there's no faults other than like a little dust speck of Humbug not playing enough, but who cares? Who cares?
I don't think about it as a song. I think about it as an island. The full island is like, here's the thing. Water Island, it's like, okay, look at all the other islands. Like, Plant Island doesn't really sound like it's on Plant Island. Cold Island doesn't really sound like Ethereal Island. Just like it. If I close my eyes and listen to that music, I can just imagine myself floating in an astral plane of purple and green skies like that island. It's so perfectly in every single way visualizes what the song is conveying. It's an artistic masterpiece, in my opinion. It's so perfect. It's like an amazing. It's like not just an amazing song, not just amazing. It's an amazing experience. It's the best the game has to offer. I'd say Ethereal is the only reason the game is worth it at all.
Yeah. I mean, if you really need a testament to how good the song is, Ethereal soundtrack exists.
I mean, listen, here's the thing. Take what are other best islands like on in the world?
The two top tiers, Bone and Sugarbush.
Okay, take Bone Island, okay? Close your eyes, listen to Bone Island. I don't imagine myself in a cave of bones. It's
Picture
music.
Bone Island. I just picture Bone Island.
Exactly. It's just music. It's not really like it's beautiful. It's great music. It sounds awesome, but like that's all there really is to it at the end of the day. But Ethereal Island, again, like sounds cheesy, but it is an experience. It is something really special, and like I'm not gonna shit on it because I don't want. We can't bring this up. I'll let you guys take over now.
I mean, it's my favorite island in the entire game. I everything that I could say, you've already said. I don't have the linguistic skills to fully like be able to express my thoughts on it simply just because I repeat and stumble over myself a lot. It's just I heard it once on a freaking top 10 island because those are still a thing. And it was right when I unlocked Cold Island, so I didn't know about any of the new monsters or stuff. And I heard it once, and for like the next month, I would constantly look for Ethereal Island in the top 10 songs just so I could listen to it. It's literally the reason this song is single-handedly the reason why I'm even talking about this island right now to begin with.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, Ethereal Island as a whole is like I don't know if it's for everyone, like, but for a lot of people, it was like one of the big things that solidified their love for MSM. Like one of like my earliest MSM memory, like one of my earliest ones, is being there the day Feng Prey came out.
What a good day.
Yeah,
And none of that, even if you don't want to talk about it musically, artistically, and like monster wise, yeah,
some of the best.
Mammoth's funny, Furcorn's funny, Toadjammer's funny, Scups is cool, Pom Pom is silly, freaking T-Rox is cool looking. Ethereal monsters, they're in fucking Mount Olympus compared to everything else.
Quite literally, with their 1,000 gem cost.
Yeah.
They are literally like for the elites. They are the best monsters that you can ever get in terms of valuability and like just their species as a whole.
Are there? Wait, I just realized. To this day, is there anything like that you could spend diamonds on that's more expensive than a double element on Ethereal Island?
Island skins.
Uh,
Yeah, island skins are double the price if I'm sure. You're correct.
I think that's saying something though. When the only thing in the game that even comes like the only thing in the game that's more expensive than the ethereals, like when it comes to just buying one, is just fucking like it's just like a titan. It shows that they are among the titans.
Like, it's so telling that not even BBB can handle how much quality Ethereal Island actually has. They've done it before in the Ethereal Island soundtrack, but like when they try to add to it, it miserably failed. And even when they were like, let's port the Ethereals to Composer, yeah, that didn't work out. The Ethereals infamously are very not good sounding. And that's the saddest thing of all. I can't wait for Rare Wubbox.